Um, I don't have any poems about video games. It's just too personal. Uh, Gaming is something that can just be so personal. So instead, I'm gonna just read other poems. This first one is called Sex Dream About Jesus. I'm pissed because I love the man, and this is the same as being reminded the world is a disintegrating mess of oil and balding overlords, trees with red centers cut into books with terrible politics. So when I kill the vibe he's on, it's a fashion I can afford. I'm not the kind of girl who cares about dirty laundry. I'm not some final girl with a death wish and a septum ring. I want the man who cares about wanting. I want the man that doesn't make me boil with indifference. He was there, and so I loved him. Embarrassing, no? I want the man to wrestle my misfortune of having been born, to tame it and make me call him daddy. I want sex like a cis girl on coke wants water. I drink soda at midnight just to sit up with him for longer. I'm foolish for wanting what is commonly sinister. A podcast is the same thing as a threat, especially when he talks about it. I am a transgender psycho. I think about him in public restrooms as praxis. You take me, I take you. What I love about him is that he can't reach the top shelf, but refuses to bottom. I like the man's ambition beyond his grasp. I love him like I'm about to never pray again. You know what I mean? I edge over the block button. I edge over my pillow. He knows I'm dying by the minute. That 6 months in on HRT has made my sperm devoid of childhood. For him, I undress my bank account and slap its bare ass. Love him like only a woman like me can love, meaning if I die tomorrow, he did it. Your Honor, it was him. The life of a trans girl is tragic in his imagination. I want him like the Reaper wants takeout. I want him like a cousin wants your iPhone 6. In the story of our love, the one our kids will learn, he met me on the porch of a nuclear test site. I was made of plastic, but don't get it twisted. I'm not romantic in the romantic era sense. There's no consumptive fantasy which motivates my hunger. I'm romantic in that I believe in fucking up a lawn chair. What teeth I have. I gave up politics for his wicked mouth. I'm cruel and ditzy, a lollipop with hair. In bed, he puts one hand on my girl dick and the other on the scab over my heart. This next poem is just titled Poem About Adrian Rich. On New Year's Eve, I drank my weight in tequila, watched the night transition into migraine, then nothing, until dawn arrives too early for what it is, birds rattling the sill. I call this a poem, angry at the taste of my mouth, as if a mouse crawled in to die there. Often I mistake my tongue for ruins. Memory is whatever I want it to be, like how I'm sober every day I'm not drinking, how there's no proof I drank if I forgot. This brings us to the book on my table. Sometimes I forget who I am, but certain objects remind me. I pull from the night's wreck a joke I made, drag name Adrian Richard. It wasn't my best work. Maybe I drank too much because another poet forgot mid-convo who I was suddenly, or what, as in what kind of faggot. Often I find myself in a state of acute desperation. I'll read yet another epigraph, another, and wonder what it's worth to ruin a party. Tell me, I want to beg in my brain where all my begging works, how her poems speak to you. So I can tell you the name of a sister who is not here to sister anymore. Often I think about what else is commonly forgotten. We keep a poet's mind and work and think them beautiful and separate, but any trans will tell you dirt is just dirt before it's metaphor for tranny. And so in this poem, I dig out woman, however she's defined, and allow her entry into my language. Here in a poem, every woman is allowed dominion. And just like that, I remember how done I was pretending art matters when the cost is who we are. I said this to a man who said, that's not how art works. The book on my desk is half read. Sometimes in order to read, I have to loathe. I have to loathe in order to advance beyond loathing. All this for a book, a woman who is dead and those who keep putting her bones on the table, who keep telling me to look. Okay, I've looked, okay, and now I'm done with looking. This one is just called Trans with a Z at the end. The story goes, I saw my face once in the reflection of a screen and thought, wow, my face is not what my face is. The joke is that every trans girl named Heather or something cottagey goes to grad school to play harp, neg chasers, cop surgeries. But honestly, I don't care about some app guy's amorous. I am still my most valid talking shit about strangers on your iPhone hotspot. Accustomed to grief, I participate in every game of hangman, eat Annie's mac and cheese straight from the pot over the clothes of my dead friends. You know, just trans shit. I don't internalize. It already takes a certain kind of muscle to speak, to be heard. On any given day, my pronouns are kettle, bell, rise, and grind, my neck, my back, and look. It's my own dumb luck that I'm trans at a time when the internet exists. Now I'm nothing without fetish. I don't know. It's not my fault every man in my DMs wants a lick of glory. Whole. That in every trans poem, there's a broken fowl bucking to climax over yellowing grass. A horse bleeding out upon the daisies, the blurry dick pic of a mare. In the economy of trans, a poem is the same thing as a handout, and each horse is obviously the fag I write off on. Every page, see me, half teeth, half monstrous schlong, see me. This next one is called At 26, I'm Getting Better at Distilling My Rage. A fear of being judged is the 207th bone in the body. No surgery can shave it or cut it down. My father still calls me son, but with a different tone than before, as when I accomplish a goal, I'm proud of you, son. Like he might sense I'm about to leave and wants to lure me back without the theater of forgiveness. Would it kill someone to know I'm not any less of a wound now? More accurately, a slight bruise, not purple or foreboding, but there, creeping under the sleeve like a birthmark only a lover would notice. After years of cold turkey, I've turned the blinkers on, and it's amazing what I can see, but also what I couldn't on the mend, like my own hands and what hurts they made. How April Fool's I was, pretending I could stand without a wall or eat without a hunger. Bruce Springsteen's Nebraska was the last noise I conked out to 5 summers ago. And now the album plays like the kind of memory you keep when you don't want all the parts, but a handful justify the rest, so you make do. A secret is that everyone wants to suffer, to survive, to say they've been to hell and back and learned the lessons. There are none in a place called hell. On the verge of dying, I felt the body fail. There was nothing I could do. I didn't push beyond that failure, and so it stuck to me, and I drag it. Now to the CVS, to a place called home, and to the bus, to my parents' house, to a lover's bed and out of it, towards the bathroom, and also to the kitchen for water. I made peace with my face. I looked good in a desperate light, humbled, like a moth is humbled by its god, the one we made to better see the road at night. I think I have 2 more. Okay, this one's called Trans Again, with a Z again. I'm not good at titles. And this is an erasure of The Transsexual Empire by Janice Raymond, which I don't recommend as like a book to read. Okay. There are many people with material sources. Some I have known since I began. The first US medical institution to perform transsexual surgery found there was no surgery to cure the public. It is my own demise. Trans into the traumatic, the genuine erotic, the money institutions, the critical rush. I submit as a way out of gender. In fact, the pursuit of image has less to offer than the flesh. Behind this construction is the model, a host of disease. Does desire qualify as a condition requiring psychiatric and medical intervention? Is gender dissatisfaction the true sex? I see it now, what gender is. K, the caricature about man-made femininity, the biological essentialism, the theorizing the existence of identity, my willingness to destroy. I assert there is something surgery cannot change. It is history. The body, a raging doubt. Things are not so simple. After all is said and done, the transsexual is really full-blown genre. The dissonances fragment and reconstitute the heart of the project. I speak against sophistication. Even a footnote is royalist behavior. Bodies think little of mutilating. I accept that. Trans have suffered. I don't desire the instrumentality of woman or man, or the constructs of who is real. When I possess women, what diminishes? A cavity between trans and human. And this is the last poem. It's called Lesson. Trans taught me there is no cruelty which is impossible. But what I want for whoever says I won't have it, a life. My sister is alive. My brothers are alive. My parents alive. For them, I count the yolks of each broken year in a bowl. I am still struggling to remain someone any someone can see. Spirit untethered. With history I have a birth, chasm, belief in a romance of hurt. Sometimes when I am named inhuman, I like to imagine the outline of a child inside of me. Not the want, but the wanting of the want, the ugly choice of it. My small, desperate face repeating, hello, hello. Thank you.